Patrick K has a question. When is the last day to file NIW this year to make it in time before new administration?
Yeah, so that's the thing. There's not really a solid cutoff, right? The petition, if you want it considered under the Biden administration's guidelines, and you want no question on whether it will be considered under those guidelines, you would need to have the decision issued before December, and USCIS can take 45 business days. So really submitting it now would be right around the cutoff to get a decision. However, you could get a request for evidence, and that can extend the time to the decision. And that's not ideal. But how much it extends the time to the decision is kind of up in the air. It's also unusual, I think, for a lot of changes from the new administration coming in to happen for high skilled immigration. I'm sure that they will come up with some day one executive orders regarding the border situation. I don't think that high skilled immigration, though, is that much of a priority. So it will likely take several months before any new policies are articulated on NIW. So it's hard to know how and when the standards or the rules or the norms might change in NIW. So if you're asking when it should be submitted, it should probably be submitted as soon as possible this year. If you're asking for a guarantee, there isn't really one because USCIS can extend this process out by issuing an RFE. They can even issue a second RFE. They can issue a notice of intent to deny. They can do all kinds of things to frustrate your timing for the case.
So on that note, should you still apply even regardless of if there is a change in administration or
So that's the question. It is more of a question of handling the cost benefit analysis, right? So should you apply? I mean, if you are maximizing every single option in your immigration toolbox, then yes, you should apply. Is it going to be worth the cost? Maybe, maybe not. And so when people when people come to me as an immigration attorney, I've already told them we can't take cases right now and file them before the end of the year. The timeline is just not working out for us. We need to finish the cases that we do have before the end of the year. If clients are fine proceeding now and paying the fee, understanding there's no refunds, then sure, we're comfortable. There's a certain subset of cases, though, that I'm very hesitant about. So when I'm doing consultations right now, if someone has more markers of a traditional EB-2 NIW case, where either they're engaged in research or they're a really senior level person at an institution that is clearly in the national interest, like a major healthcare organization, we can still proceed with the case. And I am still pretty confident that those kinds of cases will continue to be good under a Trump administration. I can't have full confidence, but relatively confident because they traditionally have always been at least approvable. Even if it's like a 75% chance of approvable, they're approvable. So I don't feel bad initiating those cases as long as the client is totally informed about the chances. There's a particular subset, though, of the tech cases, and these are cases where I've received approvals all this year, all last year. I would normally jump at the chance to take this kind of case. Maybe it's like a mid-career tech professional working in a particular field, like in clean energy or something like that. And they don't have a lot of accolades or recognition outside of their company, but they do have some professional participation. Maybe they're a member, maybe they have given a couple of talks with some organizations, and then they have this mid-career senior level role. Advising that most of them wait until after the election, because I think we'll be able to form a more solid plan on their case once we know who the president is going to be. You could rush to file, and it's good because then you're not losing any time. But I also would feel bad taking the case because if we do get a Trump administration, I don't know when the case would cease to be viable, but at some point, I think it would be highly questionable and probably unlikely to be approved. So that's just the way I'm looking at things right now. I do still definitely encourage people to schedule a consultation for the EB-2 NIW. You should know what all of your options are. For some people, I'm saying proceed now, and maybe we'll file January, February, and it will still be a good case. For others, I'm saying let's wait just a month, wait and see what happens with the election, and then from there, you can schedule a consultation, and you will have a little bit more information for when you plan out what to do.